universally.
This is nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. You're welcome. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has upheld the federal government's appeal against the release of the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Olabode Arewa reports that the Apex Court held that although the manner through which his home was invaded was unjust, this should not prevent him from standing trial on criminal charges filed against him.
Following the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal decisions that the manner of Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria was illegal and unlawful, the federal government had gone ahead to obtain an order against Nnamdi Kanu's release, saying he may not be available for his trial. The Supreme Court in the decision held that although the security agencies acted unjustly in the manner in which they invaded Kanu's home in 2017, no law forbids Nnamdi Kanu from facing trial for the alleged crimes he was accused of.
This is victory to our administration of criminal justice because it shows that once you are an accused person, once you are a defendant, no matter what excuse you want to bring to hide under the law to say that you should not be tried.
What the Supreme Court says represents the law. We respect it. We go by it. It simply means that we have to go back to the High Court and get done with this quickly. We still have hope.
The initial terrorism charges filed against the detained proscribed IPOB leader included membership of a proscribed organization and incitement of the public to disorder. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
The special advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, SMA Eibo, has debunked rumors to the effect that Senator Godswill Akpabio collapsed during Thursday's colloquium and was rushed to the National Hospital. Describing the report as untrue, Mr. Eibo explained that the President of the Senate only said he was exhausted. The statement adds that information found by some social media channels are wholly untrue, as the Senate President was not rushed on a stretcher to the National Hospital or indisposed. Now, the Joint Committee on Niger Delta Affairs has invited the Minister of Finance, alongside that of the Niger Delta Affairs, to appear before it for clarifications on the non-release of funds to the Ministry for execution of capital projects as appropriated in the 2023 budget. The Joint Committee took the decision after observing poor performance in the 2023 budget appraisal of the ministry presented by the Minister Abubakar Momo during the 2024 budget defense. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed has the details.
Other issues raised during the 2024 budget defense were oil theft, vandalism of government infrastructure, abandoned projects, recruitment process, and capacity building.
The Ministry of Niger Delta is an interventionist ministry. It's not one of those ministries charged with the responsibility of the core mandate of doing certain things.
The country wants to have maximum and effective running of this ministry.
Meanwhile, Minister of Police Affairs Ibrahim Gaido, alongside Inspector General of Police, took turns to defend the 2024 budget of the ministry.
Still talking on the possibility of increasing the overhead costs and the capital expenditure. It will go a long way in helping us in achieving the renewed hope of Mr. President's agenda.
May I also seize this opportunity to renew the assurances of my firm determination
to continue to synergize with the two committees towards the repositioning of the Nigerian police force.
We acknowledge their need to improve their funding and curtail security challenges, ensure sufficient operational capabilities.
We in the National Assembly will do the needful to ensure the necessary budget heads and sub-heads receive adequate sum.
The Police Affairs Committee thereafter promised to support police and enhance its welfare and working condition to effectively discharge its mandate. In the meantime, the House of Representatives Committee on Legislative Compliance, headed by Yusuf Badao, has been inaugurated. From the National Assembly, Issa Muhammad, NTA News.
Former Vice President of Nigeria, Muhammad Namadi Sambo, has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his commitment to begin the rehabilitation of Tudunbiri community in 2 weeks' time, while awaiting the ongoing investigation to unravel the real cause of the incident to ensure justice to the victims. The former Vice President was speaking when the Emir of Zazzau, Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, accompanied him to condole the Kaduna state government over the incident. Muhammad Umar Ajingi brings us the story.
It will be recalled that few days after the misfire incident at Tudunbiri village, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed for an urgent investigation and total rehabilitation of the entire community. The former Vice President and the Emir of Zazzau, after a closed-door meeting with the Kaduna State Governor on the matter, applauded the President for such a giant idea to give families of the victims hope in life again after the tragic experience.
The President has directed to ensure that those affected are well compensated.
We're also calling on our people, to allow the authorities, to come up with a position, not for people to be speaking recklessly on social media.
The Kaduna State Elders Forum, led by Abakar Mustafa and General Zamani Lokot, who commiserated with the families of the victims, and the Kaduna State government also appreciated the effort of the federal government.
We're happy to have heard that there is an investigation panel that is likely going to unravel the situation.
Our lot now is to pray for the armed forces so that similar accident doesn't take place.
As the people of Tudunbiri community await these developmental projects, they have disowned suit before the Federal High Court Kaduna, demanding for 33 billion naira compensation for the victims. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Harnessing the prowess and gallantry of female officers in different security outfits is critical to achieving national peace and safety of Nigerians. This is coming from key players in the nation's security sector as the 4th Women Peace and Security Conference, organized by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. Ngozi Technikio was there.
Based on the incessant cases of insecurity that Nigeria is grappling with in the recent times, it becomes imperative for a synergy among security agencies in tackling every criminality headlong. It is on this note that the Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, is appealing for increased security watch on women, as this will help in curbing gender-based violence.
The new president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, is all about women, because he knows that when a woman is empowered, about 20 people are automatically empowered.
This conference also has the potential to harness the strategic roles and responsibilities that women play.
In this regard, I recommend that reviews of frameworks for violent conflict resolution with greater bias to soft power approaches should be undertaken in order to make women's forefront participation to be optimized.
So to establish security sector reform that is locally owned.
The two-day event, which centers on the theme, operationalization of gender and security policies, roles of security agencies in addressing emerging peace and security challenges in Nigeria, is expected to come up with a communique that will form a working document for all stakeholders. In Abuja, Ngozi Technikio, NTA News.
12 female entrepreneurs with cutting-edge digital technology skills to upscale their businesses globally have emerged. This was after participating in the National Information Technology Development Agency NYSC's maiden edition of the Female Founders Incubation Program for 4 weeks at the National Center for Intelligence and Robotics in Abuja. Chimdima Ndibusi tells us more.
Mary Ann is a food catering entrepreneur who is out to upscale her business globally, but with no technical skill to do so. She has spent so much on paying social media advertisers, but with little result. Now, after 4 weeks of intensive training on business technical skills by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NYSC, she and 11 other female business founders are singing a new song.
I've been able to perfect the social media ads from all that we've been taught, how to reach out to my customers through the various social media platforms.
When it comes to using the AI, aside the AI to business development in large, so I have this deep knowledge of it now.
Attending this training has really helped me to understand how to grow my business, how to manage it and scale it up to finish.
NYSC says the incubation program sets out to achieve President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda of investing in digital economy to empower Nigerians with new skills and jobs.
Our overarching goal is to bridge gender disparities in the technology industry and pave the way for increased digital employment opportunities for women.
Each female founder perfected the art of innovation pitching and was handed a tablet device as gift. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Application of data has been described as a veritable tool for equitable distribution of resources and the realization of peace across boards. This was the focus of a stakeholder sensitization program organized by the Federal Character Commission for Southwest officials. Francis Udojo brings us the story.
One of the major responsibilities of the Federal Character Commission is to ensure equitable distribution of resources without shortchanging any geopolitical zone. This informed the sensitization program on the imperative of data submission for national development.
The event, which had participants from ministries, departments and agencies, as well as institutions of learning from the Southwest Zone of Nigeria, has equity, fairness, and justice in distribution of resources as a tool in realizing the renewed hope agenda as its theme, and the chairman of the FCC.
All Nigerians are encouraged to key into this mantra, whatever might be the situation.
If all of us abide by this principle and we can ensure equity and fairness on our own, I think the society will be better off.
Papers on equity, fairness, and justice in the distribution of resources as tool in realizing the renewed hope agenda, as well as the role of data collection and analysis in the fair and equitable distribution of amenities for development, were presented.
We have case studies like the Singapore and the Rwandan case that we studied here today, and I think Nigeria should not be left behind.
States and local governments are expected to tap from the FCC initiative. In Abuja, Francis Sudojo, NTA News.
Now, available statistics shows that about 184 people have lost their lives in road crashes along the ever-busy Lagos-Ibadan expressway. And as the road gets very busy this Yuletide, the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, is assuring commuting public of strategic measures to prevent accidents. Yemi Dalemo reports.
Driving along the reconstructed Lagos-Ibadan expressway is a smooth experience with virtually no delays and timely completion of one's journey if the driver drives within the stipulated speed limits. However, between January and November 2023, over 1,139 passengers have sustained various degrees of injuries in 442 road crashes recorded, and about 184 others lost their lives.
We have about 4 flight points. One of them is the Onegari,
area. At Onigari, the major cause of crashes in Onigari is as a result of the place is slopey. But of late, we have also been recording crashes between Ogeri and Shagamu.
The FRSC says it is taking proactive steps, including sensitization campaigns, motorized patrol along the highway, and enforcement to make drivers comply with stipulated traffic rules and regulations to prevent crashes along the roads. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Yemi Dalemo is right now at the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. So, Yemi, you said the FRSC has mapped out strategies to reduce carnage on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway during this period of increased vehicular movements. Tell us some of these strategies.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. I am standing at the Shagamu axis of the road, where it is pleasurable to drive from Lagos to Ibadan, and the driver will enjoy a smooth ride. So because the road is good, the drivers most times fall for the temptation of increasing their speed, and one of the major causes of crashes along this axis is speed violation. So now that the U-turn is around the corner, it is expected that people will be moving from Lagos to various destinations to celebrate the festive season with their families and loved ones. So also the vehicular movement will also be increased. So it is therefore important for stakeholders to map out strategies to ensure that there is the driving culture of the drivers are actually in line with the safety rules and regulations while plying the road. And the Federal Road Safety Commission in Ogun State is saying that they are preaching the message of attitudinal change and safe and responsible driving for motorists plying this road so that they can arrive at their destinations safely. So I have with me the sector commander of the Ogun State Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Anthony Uga, who has said that a lot of measures have been put in place to ensure that there is safety along this route during this U-turn season. So, the sector commander.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What are the strategies that have been put in place to ensure that people or passengers along this route arrive safely at their destinations?
Yeah, so many of them right now. First of all, we are going to embark on mobile speed patrol as from 18th of December 2023. And again, we have designed a kind of domesticated public enlightenment, advocacy to mosques and churches to preach home the word of safety, that all road users should be safety conscious. And again, the red flag issue. The red flag. We are going to devise a means of using the red flag approach whereby our operatives will be there some distances with red flags to flag and to tell motorists that you need to slow your speed. Drive gently to save your life and arrive safely to your destinations.
This sector commander, when these accidents usually happen, there are periods that your men are not probably on the road early in the morning and late at night. Is there anything that you can do to ensure that even those periods, we are not expecting your men to be sleeping on the road, but even those periods, there can be some signs that the driver can see and do the needful?
There is no time we are not there. We are 24/7. We have night rescue team. We have our operatives during the day. So anytime there are crashes, FRSC operatives are there to rescue the accident victims. There is no dull moment. We are always there. So the fact remains that all road users should drive in line, in tandem with the extant rules on traffic rules and regulations, so that they can drive and stay alive.
Now, there are 4 major flash points along this route, and there is no warning signs. So, talking about these warning signs, even when your men are not available, if they see the signs, the drivers will know what to do. So, warning signs is very important. What about this?
Yes, we have discussed extensively, and it's part of the palliative that is ongoing right now, anchored by the controller of works in Ogun State, that the stretch from Ibadan down to Lagos, all these areas, all this stretch covering the newly constructed zones should be installed with warning signs to educate road users on what to do and what not to do. So there are palliatives going on right now to install all these warning signs so that road users will make extensive use of it. And the moment these warning signs and other advanced warning signs are there, road users will drive according to instructions. And by this, they will drive to stay alive.
Yes, they will drive to stay alive. It is our prayers that everyone and passengers passing through this route will arrive at their destinations safely. It is the need for us to cultivate the right attitude to achieve this. So it's over to you, studio.
Thank you very much, Yemi. The advice is drive safely and stay alive to celebrate the Christmas. Now, the World Chairman of International Human Rights Commission, Mohammed Shahid Khan, has decorated the African ambassador, Dr. Lami with Medal of Honor for his outstanding performance, selfless services and dedication to humanity in African nations. The decoration was at the closing of COP28 United Nations Climate Change Conference at the UN building in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Dr. Lami was also decorated as the ambassador of Hajj, indicating the class of Grand Cross in an order of merit based on the tradition of India. Dr. Lami, a citizen of Nigeria, is currently the African ambassador at large of International Human Rights Commission, serving the whole African countries. Now, in a bid to encourage and sustain healthy environmental practices, Digital Pairs International is rewarding the best innovative solutions as well as inventions from plastics waste with monetary prize. Latest on the list are students of Government Technical College, Garki, Abuja, who won 1 million naira. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim has the story.
Fresh mind with fresh ideas, they are the young people who are now driving the change campaign for cleaner and safer environment with innovative solutions.
It's just through simple processes like picking and sorting, then washing and drying, weighing these plastics, and then we mix them with kaolin, and then we mold. After molding, we compress it to give it the shape we want.
I have been able to gain so much knowledge from this program on how to reuse, reduce, and recycle the use of plastic.
And so, Digital Pairs International is championing the cause with reward for the best plastic recycling solution, following a competition where Government Technical College, Garki, Abuja came first, cutting away 1 million cash prize.
We engaged about 200 youths during the starting off of this project. This school, Government Science Technical College, emerged as the winner.
Recycle will help us bring back our environment the way it was.
Now, the organization is tipping students based on points gained by collecting plastic bottles inside the plastic receptacle bin. A win-win situation, you may say. Salwa Khalil, NTA News.
And the French Development Agency is committing 50 million euros for the development of agriculture in Nigeria. Musa Ali reports that the fund will be disbursed through the International Fund for Agricultural Development.
The International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, and the French Development Agency are jointly funding an agricultural development project in northern Nigeria. The Value Chain Initiative is designed to improve agricultural activities, eradicate hunger and malnutrition in the region.
8 states have been targeted, and it's the 8-year program.
hoping for about $114 million. Both the African Development Agency, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, as well as the counterpart funding from the states, the federal government, as well as the beneficiaries.
Here are key players putting a final touch into the implementation document for the takeoff of the project.
I therefore challenge all participants to ensure active participation and contribute your comments to ensure that the design is fully aligned with the wishes and aspirations of our people.
We will strengthen the collaboration with women organizations.
We plan 50 million in our budget, but it could be more depending on the number of states that will be involved and the number of value chains that will be targeted.
The project is expected to cover selected states in Northeast and Northwest zones. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The rivers Niger and Benue used to harbor large quantity of fish, with many making a living through fishing. However, it's a different story today. In this report, Jonathan Omajali explores this worrying trend amidst an increase in the prices of fish in Lokoja, the capital of Kogi State.
Many travelers. The eye-catching fish along Lokoja-Abuja highway is worth a traveler's last penny. The city serves as a confluence for the two most prominent rivers in Nigeria, River Niger and River Benue. The hunt for fish in the rivers is an ancient business that has kept many households afloat, while also serving as a source of income for the nation. The demand for fish is high and will not abate anytime soon.
Every year from October, we normally have a Tuvan course. We buy, the fishermen give us those things. This year as a whole, we don't have it.
The fish we used to buy before, 12,000, the fish is almost about 40-something thousand now.
I used to buy this fish, it should not be more than 1.5. So I bought now. But I came today now, this woman is saying 3,000.
The way out of the alarming diet of fish is aggressive fish farming, especially at the floodplains.
Last year I managed like 8,000 pieces. If not, you can take 10,000, more than that.
Farmers take loans running into several millions to run their fish farms. The high demands and profit in the business are the major motivations, but there are challenges.
We have invested in this fishing farming. Last year my colleague lost almost 9 million and 10 million.
In June last year, the then Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Mahmoud, said Nigeria's annual fish demand was 3.6 million metric tons, but only 1.2 million metric tons was produced domestically. The time to support local fish farmers is now. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA.
So Jonathan Omajali is now joining us from Pata area, close to the International Fish Market in Lokoja. Hello, Jonathan. What's the update about this fishy business in Lokoja? Our issues with the audio, joining Omajali in Lokoja for an update on the situation of fish in that area. So we continue and then we get back to him later when the situation improves. Confederation of APC support groups is making far-reaching impact in wooing more members into the fold of the governing All Progressives Congress. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports that the latest was when some PDP members in the FCT denounced their membership for the APC.
Creation of APC support groups is one of the surviving pillars of the post-election politics and still making waves in sustaining the gains recorded. And this was evident when the Director General of the group, Professor Muhammad Kelani, received PDP defectors from different parts of the FCT into the All Progressives Congress family.
The Confederation of
APC support groups will receive those defectors to APC, and how we are going to meet with the party hierarchy and even the president himself. Because 25% was what they were dragging from the tribunal to the appeal court to the Supreme Court.
In another development, One Nation for Asiwaju Women Wing has assured of its continued support and collaboration for the advancement and actualization of the renewed hope agenda of the Tinubu's presidency. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, 14 years ago, Nigerians were given a glimpse into a new NTA. The News and More News channel, NTA News 24, rose, journeyed through turbulence, and now must rise again, as opportunities were presented as a training to beat the new team into shape. Ulishe Adiabo tells us more.
Corporate culture. The future of NTA may be within these walls. Another generation is being raised.
And choosing short sentences. That is what news lives on.
The News 24 is one of a kind. It's unique. It's different. It's not like the news you tell every day.
The cultural competence helps you to do the following: learn valuable communication skills, conflict management, and teamwork.
It's been 3 days, and the hope is that a new NTA News 24 will rise. Everyone appears excited, though each face says something different, of enthusiasm, better confidence, and apprehension. Others just without expression, but in all, a change, nonetheless, for these and NTA News 24.
It's a clarion call for me to do things differently.
I have actually keyed into the vision of News 24, and I believe going forward.
In all these, the leadership of NTA says being professional and making NTA stand tall in the media space is a task that must be achieved.
The failures that we experience in this country is largely the failure of the media. And I keep telling people that I have promised, God willing, with the effort that we are making in NTA, very soon we will make the peddlers of rumor mongering and fake news jobless.
I believe we're going to see the reflection of what we have learned in the past 3 days on screen, because that is where we assess you, that is where we judge you.
We want to take a look at our online presence. We think it's very important at this critical moment, so that is the next target that we have set for ourselves. We're also working very hard to ensure that we have a strong documentary unit.
We have all got something that we will take home and practice as we move forward to ensure that our screens are better, our reports are going to be improved.
Maybe this walk to NTA News 24's future may not be that long after all that transpired here in Abuja. Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
We now rejoin Jonathan in Lokoja for additional information on declining freshwater fish in Lokoja. Jonathan, you're on.
Yes, thank you. Just like you heard from that report, I'm actually standing not too far from the river, and I've been here for about 2 hours thereabout, just trying to monitor the fishing activities around this area. It's so sad. You see some of the fishermen returning with empty nest. Those that are able to catch some fish, they just come with very, very few in their containers. Of course, it's a very disturbing situation. But it didn't start today. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, from my interaction with some of the people here, it used to be a very big market. The river had enough, not just for the people of Lokoja, but for other states. But all of that is changing now. and several people are in fact leaving the fishing business. But the question is, what is actually responsible for this? I asked a few experts, and one of the things they said is that we are facing the grim realities of climate change. Aside the fact that we have climate change affecting the rivers. Of course, this place I'm standing 2 to 3 months ago was filled with water. But of course, this place is almost a barren land. You can't find water here. You have to look behind, go very far before you see water. So of course, the rivers are drying very fast. As a result of climate change, we're also losing the fish. Like you heard in that report, some of the species are already gone extinct. Is a big trouble. Aside that, we also have indiscriminate disposal of waste in the river, and that is affecting the natural habitat of the fish. Take for instance, Nazifi, can you just move the camera a little? You look around this place, you see a lot of refuse dump. So all of these things affect not just the river, but the fish. And so it's a big problem that needs to be tackled. You can come back, Nazifi.
All right. So what are the experts, or what are the government agencies and other stakeholders, that is the fishermen, the people of the community, what are they doing to reverse this trend?
Yes, I think from my observation and interaction with some of them, one of the things I discovered is that there is little reliance on the river because, of course, like I said, is a problem that they began to notice about 40 years ago. So for those who are wise, a lot of them are shifting towards fish farming. A lot of them have gone into fish farming, large-scale fish farming, and they are doing quite well. And so, going forward, I think the government has to support the people who are into fish farming, give them the fund that they need and other forms of support. Of course, we can't take away the fact that they need to be trained so that they can do better. So that's, of course, the way forward out of the problem.
So thank you very much, Jonathan. It's quite a relief to hear that we will still have more fish on our tables, especially that in a couple of days coming, we're going to be celebrating the Christmas and the New Year. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We now join Michael in Lagos for more reports on Nationwide. It's over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Lami. It has become expedient to reposition the national policy on education by implementing strategies that will deliver graduate students who will blend with the labor market demands. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was speaking at the National Council on Education meeting in Lagos. Ese Onwamaka reports.
The development of education is crucial to the true economic prosperity for any country. Hence the need to chart a new course that will lead to the attainment of the 2030 Education Development Agenda, with a theme addressing the challenges of policy implementation, a panacea for the achievement of Education 2030 Agenda. Stakeholders in the education sector express concern over well-crafted policies that are faced with ineffective implementation in the sector and calls for prioritization of the education sector by policymakers.
As we deliberate during these sessions, we must reflect on identifying the challenges of quality and access to education, required infrastructure and facilities vis-a-vis the quality of teachers required for the maximum implementation of educational programs.
Government, educational institution, civil society organization, and the private sector must work closely to mobilize resources.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented, stressed the need for more collaborative efforts in enhancing the quality of teaching and learning that will produce self-reliant youths in the country.
More importantly, let us resolve to rededicate ourselves to ensuring that our policies are not just fantastic on paper, but are actionable and implemented to achieve the desired result.
The 67th National Council on Education meeting is aimed at addressing the challenges of policy formulation in the education sector and providing lasting solutions that will provide refined educational models in the country. In Lagos, S.A. Owamaka, NTA News.
Once again, the season when many spread and share love with one another in celebration of the Utah is here. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lagos Network Center, also used its platform to impart children at its annual Christmas Children's Party. Lynn Neneke captured the moment.
This was how it all went down at the television house on Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, as children from different schools were feted. The event did not only set the tone for Christmas celebrations, it also provided opportunity to identify with one another in love.
I'm enjoying everything that's going on in this party. I have fun.
The dancing, the music, and also the performance. I want to appreciate the NTA for what they do.
Zonal Director, NTA2 Lagos Network Center, said the organization is keeping up with its mandate to promote good moral values by inculcating into children the culture of sharing.
This example that NTA is always putting on the front burner, that other people will emulate it, because we sure need peace in our country today, and we sure need togetherness, and we sure need cooperation and partnership, so that our country will take our country to where it's supposed to be.
There were lots of games, dance, drama, and songs presentation by the participating schools. The children also visited Santa Claus at his grotto, where they were showered with gifts.
Our sponsors, I must thank them. They were the brain behind all of this. There are so many.
I'll say NTA has really tried for today. The children have had lots of fun.
The party, sponsored by reputable brands and companies, shared the vision of promoting the ideals the season stands for. Children Party, which will not be forgotten in a hurry, is what children always look forward to every year. In Lagos, Lynn Neneke, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Lami in Abuja after this break. Please stay.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has assured this year's intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia of their safety and comfort to and from the Holy Land. This is as the opening bid for screening of air carriers for the 2024 Hajj. Chairman of the Commission, Ahmad Jalal Arabi, said operations such as the challenges experienced year in, year out, it is incumbent on the Commission to improve on past exercises.
Safety cannot be compromised. We want to make a difference this time around. Not to say that in the past such differences were not met. There's always room for improvement.
Issue of safety, please, there should be no room for error. We do not want anything that will bring about calling a backup aircraft. If you disappoint yourself, the next meeting we'll be having for 2025, you won't even be in this room.
Safety is an institution that you don't need to compromise.
Over 10 carriers are bidding for the 2024 Hajj airlift. The screening committee consists of representatives of the Commission, Civil Aviation Authority, Ministry of Aviation, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, among others. The airlift of 2024 Hajj is expected to begin in the second quarter of next year. It was a beauty to behold as youth school members displayed Nigeria's rich cultural heritage with echoes of unity, peace and progress as underlying messages. Olainka Ojo reports that this was as the NYSC Cultural Carnival organized for the 2023 Batch C Stream 2 co-members in Kubwa, Abuja.
Cultural Carnival, 10 platoons, all at NYSC orientation camp. The core members from 10 platoons, dressed in different cultural attires, participating at the Cultural Carnival, are showcasing some of Nigeria's traditional rites.
It's not going to be business as usual for
those that think core members are nothing. We want to come back and see what we can do, what phase we can add.
With the pursuit of everything that guarantees unity, love, and good neighborliness, as inscribed on the banners of different platoons, some of the core members say the service here, and not just the carnival, have changed their perception of some ethnic group.
I'm actually a Yoruba from Kwara, but I'm dressed in Edo, and this is what unites us as Nigerians.
And I think the more we know what the value of our Nigeria is, the more we want to fight for Nigeria, and the more everybody wants to stay and make Nigeria better tomorrow.
It's telling Nigerians that we can actually know ourselves better, know ourselves deeper, and love ourselves more.
The memories of the day, the core members say, will linger as they are now ready than ever to be advocates of fostering national integration, strengthening understanding, and promoting peaceful coexistence. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide. We take some more messages. Welcome back. Nigeria needs about 400 billion naira to implement its National Science, Technology and Innovation Roadmap. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Jeffrey Naji, stated this through a message as the Northwest 2023 Techno Expo organized by the National Board for Technology Incubation held in Kanu. Aminu Umar reports.
National Board for Technology Incubation is mandated to manage the operation of technology incubation centers nationwide. With 37 of them across the Federation, the exhibitors from all states of the Northwest, among other research institutes and agencies, are in Kanu to showcase their innovations. At the entrance of the venue is Alamin Lawal, a post-primary student who is there informally to bring to the public his innovative thinking with a model of buildings and a mosque. This, among others, is what Ingausa is utilizing through the power of indigenous language usage to train youth regardless of their educational background.
We have an inclusive system of learning technical skills.
Inspecting the stands, the Minister Uche Naji, represented alongside the Director General of the Board, Patricia Chukwu, challenged the exhibitors to work hard towards making Nigeria's export grow through thoroughly executed scientific and technology innovations.
Science is the movement of knowledge, bringing system to drive us from where we are.
We need to focus on food security, ending poverty, economic growth, and job creation.
Representatives of some state governors of the Northwest, among other stakeholders, identified science, technology and innovation and its commercialization as right catalyst needed to propel the nation's economy to greatness. In Kanu, Amin Umar, NTA News.
Let's join Gift George for stories making headlines in the sporting world.
The Nigerian Premier Football League, NPFL, has selected 5 centers to host the inaugural edition of the Youth League tournament, slated to kick off on February 1, 2024. Lafia, Ado-Ekiti, Awka, Kaduna and Asaba are the host cities with 20 teams, divided into 4 groups of 4 each, participating at the maiden edition of the competition. The winner from each group will qualify for the championship playoffs, where they will campaign in another round-robin format at a center yet to be decided. The last group matches will last 3 days, from February 2 to 3. The championship playoff draws is scheduled for 12 February 2024, while the playoffs will be played from February 13th to 17th, 2024. Still talking football, World Football Governing Body FIFA has approved a total of 30 Nigerian referees to be placed on the international list for 2024 different FIFA competitions. Among the Nigerians are 11 referees, 11 assistant referees, 4 beach soccer referees, and 4 futsal referees. This was in a message sent to the Nigerian Football Federation. Nigerian referees approved for international duties next year. The Nigerian Fencing Federation says to sustain the gains that the consistent growth and development of fencing sport has brought, it will focus on programs which will showcase young fencers from various parts of the country. The federation, in a bid to achieving this, organized its national junior and cadet championship, which was in under 7, 10, 13 and 15 categories for boys and girls in Lagos, with about 50 young fencers taking part.
All these fencers are coming from the different places, compete, and we try and get our national champion. So it's a competition we run annually, and it all contributes to the national ranking for the athletes. Now, from the national rankings, we're able to now select the ones that can represent Nigeria on the international scale.
The sports update, Gift George, NTA News.
And that report concludes Nationwide. We thank you for your time. Do stay tuned as we bring you some other programs. I'm Lami Ali. Do have a good weekend.